Hello everybody, my name is Shueisha2.5 and welcome to yet again another Yu-Gi-Oh! What If Saga. Last time we did a What If Saga based around the world of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, where we saw the downfall of the Arcadia movement, and this of course allowing Akiza to move on with her life without any fears or regrets. This time is going to be a little bit something special, for it may take place in the world of Art 5, but with a hint of ZEXAL. So this might be a little bit different, and honestly it might even help out, but you know, it's non-canon. As far as I can tell, this is non-canon. This was not made, of course, by the creators of Art 5. This is a What If Saga based around the history behind Art 5's Heartland City. So without any further ado, let us begin the next Yu-Gi-Oh! What If Saga, better to be known as the history of Heartland City. Let's begin. Now, before we start, just like last time, I'll be using their dub names rather than their Japanese names, but if you still want to keep the Japanese names, that is totally okay. That is totally right. So, basically, this history of Heartland basically takes place after the events of Yu-Gi-Oh! ZEXAL. So, everything up to the duel with Yuma and Astral is all canon there, but the threat that continues on, like after the ending of ZEXAL, where there's a new threat in Astral World, and that's how ZEXAL ends. Let's just say that in this What If, it doesn't really happen, but instead replaced by how the Heartland City of Art 5 came to be. So you'll get to see all your favourite characters, and maybe some characters that weren't even there, but don't worry, it's all non-canon, so this didn't happen, but it would have been cool if it did happen. And I've taken some time to think about the ups and downs of different possibilities that this What If could go through. But anyway, let us now begin the saga. So, after the battle with Don 1000 and Astral using the Numeron code to restore everything back to normal, even turning the Barrier Emperors into humans, Astral returns home, and Yuma now lives a peaceful life in Heartland City, until one day in school, he stumbles upon a familiar face which you may know from Art 5, respectively, which are Yuto, our boy Yuto, his buddy Shay, Obsidian, or Shun Kurosaki, alongside his little sister Lulu, also known as Ruri in the Japanese, and together, along with Yuma's buddies, they got together, they introduced each other, and they had a nice moment together to, just have a talk, because they haven't really seen these students before, but, you know, of course, seeing new students obviously gathers a lot together, and, well, it was just a fun time. Lulu especially had a fun time, and maybe Yuto, yeah, well, we'll say that maybe. But the thing about it is that Yuma, he seemed a little bit down as of late, because if you remember, Yuma and Astral have been together since practically episode 1 of ZEXAL, so the way he's coping with it right now is very different to how Yugi was coping to losing a Tem during the Dark Side of Dimensions movie, because, you know, Yuma, I don't know if he was younger than Yugi, but, you know, he definitely acts a lot younger than Yugi, so it would be a little bit more harder for him to, you know, move on, essentially. But that all changed when a man named Yusho Sakaki arrived and taught the Heartland citizens that dueling was all about entertaining and smiling. And, of course, just as Yusho normally does, he dazzles the entire area with, of course, his performer pal, Sky Magician, which, of course, everybody smiled and cheered at the sight of this wonderful monster. Yuma, awed by this, of course, remembers Astral, but after a quiet moment with Tori, the two went back to the show before something terrible happened. Duel Academy was coming. Before Yusho vanished, Heartland City was then attacked by Duel Academy on Leo Akiba's orders. Meanwhile, while also making a brand new deck to, outrank the Galaxy Monsters, Kite and Heart Tenjo were just minding their own business, but then a blast from someone's Chaos Ancient Gear Giant, destroyed the building that Heart was on, and he was the first to go out of all the victims. He was carded. Probably don't know if he was killed or not, because Kite couldn't tell because of the explosion, but Heart was definitely carded. But as Kite looked at the ruined ashes of his home and his photon deck burning into ash, you could even see his galaxy-eyed photon dragon completely vaporizing into ashes, which of course he never forgave Duel Academy and he never forgot. Hence why he's so, well, hardcore during the events of Art 5 Season 3. That's a proper motivation right there, because if you think about it, we didn't really see Heart, Tenjo, nor Dr. Faker during the events of Art 5, so this gives Kite a reason to hate Duel Academy and why he never shows mercy. So there you go, Kite. That's one thing for you. But after the attack, thousands were devastated during the attack. The Arclight brothers, which of course Quattro, Trey, and Quinton, were all carded by the Obelisk Force, alongside Nelson Andrews, also known as the Sparrow. Kathy Catherine, of course, was the next to go. Dextra and Nistro, wanting to avenge Heart for Kite's sake, were also carded by the Obelisk Force, while Annika Boom and Bronx Stone were carded by someone different. Who could it be? It's Dennis McField. Like, without anybody notice, it's definitely Dennis McField, to be fair. So we'll give Dennis this one for now, because you know he's a member of Duel Academy, so he deserves a little bit of fun. But yeah, Annika Boom and Bronx Stone were too easy for our good boy Dennis. So yeah, we'll have Dennis have that one. So anyway, I'm just rambling here. Back to the story. Millions of people were fighting to survive until one night. And of course, this was observed by the 7 Barian Emperors, more specifically Alito. Lulu was then pursued by a hooded figure that was standing right next to Dennis. That hooded figure was, in fact, Yuri. Yes, boys, Yuri is finally on the scene. We finally get to see a bit of Yuri. Ooh, yes. So, knowing that she was going to be in trouble, Lulu tries to run from Yuri, while also catching up to Lulu. The Barian Emperors, sorry, that was a... okay, sorry about that. Anyway, the 7 Barian Emperors did their best to hold off Yuri as the best they can with all their main monsters on the field, main Xyz monsters, but unknowing to Lulu, the Barian Emperors stood absolutely no chance against Yuri, and all 7 of them were carded. How strong is this dude anyway? The running that Lulu did began to tire her out. She was at her limit in terms of how far she could go. But as a last line of defense for Lulu, Yuma steps in and duels Yuri himself. Of course, the duel was pretty one-sided with, of course, Yuri's Predaplants going all out against number 39 Utopia and even his Gaga monsters, but stood absolutely no chance. Yuri was on the winning side, but luckily for Yuma, he had a guardian angel. So coming in to save Yuma was a member of Duel Academy, surprisingly. But who could it be? Is it Zane? Is it Cyrus? Is it someone that we haven't seen before? That is definitely right. So coming in to save Yuma was the Art 5 variant for the first time of Jaden Yuki. That's right, Jaden Yuki. But then I know you were going to say, but Shortster, they didn't show Yusei during Yu-Gi-Oh! Art 5, nor did they show anything of any Yugi Moto during that, and now you're bringing Jaden into this. What is going on? Well, if you think about it more clearly, we did also get Alexis Rhodes and Asta Phoenix during the entire runtime of Yu-Gi-Oh! Art 5, so adding Jaden's sacrifice into this, of course, would probably add fuel to the fire in terms of their personalities, and actually this would give Alexis a reason to fully go out against Duel Academy after her friend was carded and after Jaden loses to Yuri, but I'll get to that in a moment. So, Jaden, of course, was very curious about Leo Akaba's plans, and he was also curious about Yuri, but his answer was finally clear. He found out that Duel Academy was carding citizens in Heartland City to do some kind of wacky project of some sort, but Jaden wasn't getting out of this one out empty-handed, so Jaden's Maxed Heroes and Yuma's Utopic Future gained a little bit of a high ground until Yuri, of course, because one thing you should know is that in Jaden's graveyard at this point was super polymerization, which of course he used to summon elemental hero Esquiridao. But then Yuri gains the upper hand by using a very handy spell card from the past, Double Spell. So with Double Spell, he manages to claim Jaden's super polymerization, then uses it to fuse his Esquiridao with his Predaplant Mori Nepenthes to summon his ultimate monster to the field, which is Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, which of course defeats both of them at the same time, which of course Utopic Future had no overlay units to support it. E was destroyed, both duelists lost, and then in a final attempt, Yuri rips up Jaden's polymerization, claiming that it's quite a powerful card indeed, but only the most elite duelists can use this card, so anything less is just a waste of time. And of course, a flash of light came from Yuri's duel disc, and both of them were carded. And so, at this point, Yuri, of course, kidnaps Lulu and takes him back to Duel Academy, with Saya, a friend of Lulu, watching the scene the entire time. And so, the events of Yu-Gi-Oh! Art 5 had begun. Heartland City was in ruins, along with its people. So, with that, that is the end of this What If saga. So, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Yu-Gi-Oh! What If sagas coming soon in the later future. But if you have any suggestions for a fan-made saga, or even a What If saga, then please comment down below, because honestly, I would really appreciate the support. In fact, I do appreciate the support that you give to the channel, as well as every series I've done, including this. But yeah, if you have any ideas, feel free to comment down. I'll be happy to write down a What If saga for you. But anyway, next time it's going to be a Art 5 What If. But again, if you have any ideas, please feel free to comment down below, and I will be happy to help. So, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you very soon. So from everyone here at Shorter2.5, thank you for watching. Bye-bye!